So I'm setting up real quick, guys. Oh, there's enough there. Almost ready, almost ready. Give me a minute. Okay. I think I got everything. If not, then we're going to go ahead and have my sister hand it over to us.
Beautiful assistant.
Yes, beautiful assistant. Okay. Let me know when you're ready to start. I'm semi-ready, but I can go. Okay, so I forwarded you guys the recipe for the Franken frosting for you guys to have ready, because that alone takes about 30 to 45 minutes to make. So, do you guys have that ready? Okay. Oh, you know what, sister, I need a ruler. And where's my scribe? Here's my scribe. Hi, welcome. Do you have your Franken frosting ready, hon? I'm going to introduce myself to those of you that don't know me. My name is Jasmine. Me and my sister Olivia are co-owners of the Sprinkle Bar in Meonville, Texas. We've been doing this for about 6 years. But I think we finally reached the end of our rope. So we're planning on closing at the end of the year and moving on to something else. My daughter is starting junior high, so she's going to need more of my attention. And she does swim team, and they have USA meets, and they travel all the time. So I really don't have a lot of time to bake anymore or do anything. But anyway, so Thursdays will be my last class of the year, and probably my last class in forever, unless you buy the pre-recorded links. Those will be up forever. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started. The Franken frosting. If you don't know what Franken frosting is a mixture of royal icing and a glaze. It dries hard, but whenever you bite it, it's got a soft bite to it. Like, it doesn't crumble like royal icing does. So this one has a soft bite, but it dries hard. So that's what we're doing today. We're working on Franken frosting. I have mine already made up. All I'm going to show you is how to color it and the consistency that I use my icing. We're going to be doing Holly transfers, and we're going to be flooding our cookies, paneling our cookies, and getting them ready for Thursday. Thursday, we're going to be adding the stencil, making the stencil on it, and adding the horns and the glitter and all the good stuff. Alright, so we're going to start off with making our transfers, because those take a little bit to dry, or they're kind of hard to make. I colored mine. Mine's pre-colored because of yesterday, but you can go ahead and color yours. Mine is a combination of leaf green and the neon green. I just like the color it gives me. When you're doing transfers, royal icing transfers, your icing has to be at a stiff consistency. You have to be able to get stiff peaks out of it, like it holds a shape. You see, it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't really bend whenever I pick it up. It stays. This is what you need for making the transfers, because anything softer than this is going to fold into itself and it's not going to keep its shape. So this is what we need. It's going to be a little bit hard. You're going to have to use a lot of pressure to get it out the tip of your piping tip. But this is what we need. The royal icing, sometimes before I start piping and filling bags, royal icing sometimes tends to develop clumps. Your powdered sugar, even if you sift it, it develops clumps. Your powdered sugar, was too dry or for whatever reason. So there's 2 steps that you can do to remove the clumps and, not have to go through the headache once you're piping, and then, excuse me, you get that clogged tip. You can run it through a stocking, fill a stocking with your royal icing, and then just kind of pull it through, and it'll keep all the clumps in the stocking, and then it'll shoot you out the clean royal icing, or frankenfrosting in this case. Or you can cut a square of the stocking, and you can use it as a filter over your tip when you put it into your coupling. So you take a square of it, you put it on here. I don't know where mine's at. And then you put your tip on it and you close it up. You have to use a little extra force to get it to go through the stocking and out of the tip, but it'll give you a smoother icing. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to start piping. We're going to fill our bags. So we're starting with the holly. So I have my leaf tip. I don't know if you can see that. This is a leaf tip. Okay, give me some plastic so I can make some bullets. We're going to be making some bullets so we can keep using our bag and just switch out. I'll show you what a bullet is in case you don't know. And this works with buttercream and royal icing or ganache, whatever you are using. It works just fine. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so all I do is take some saran wrap or clear film, whatever you have. Press and seal works too. And then I add my icing to it right down the middle. Another thing, frankenfrosting needs to be covered as soon as you make it, because it starts to crust right away, and you don't want to get that crust in it because that's what causes the clumps. Okay, so this is my bullet for my green, and then in a minute when we get to the hollies, we'll make it. So the way this works is, all you do is you're going to cut off the tip. That's trash. And then you put your bullet right into your bag. Give it a good squeeze. And then there goes your icing. Okay. Y'all ready for some hollies? I know some of you have never used the leaf tip. This is a way you're going to use it. This is going to be touching the surface where you're piping. Okay? So we're going to do this. We set it down. You apply pressure. You let it build. And then you zigzag it. Release pressure and pull it out. Make sure you release pressure before you pull it. Squeeze, build, zigzag, release pressure, and pull. You can make them as little, as big as you want. You see, this is what happens when you don't release the pressure and you pull. You get that long tip on your leaf, and that's not what we're looking for. We want nice, clean leaves. So squeeze, zigzag, release pressure, and pull. Zigzag it, release it, and pull it. You see? I think this one was way too thick. I should have thinned it out just a little bit. It's okay. Can you see that, or do you need to be brought in closer? I'll move up a little bit. Let me know if you can see. Okay, so we're going to pressure, zigzag it, release pressure, and pull it. Pressure, zigzag it, release pressure, and pull. Your hollies can have 2 leaves, or it can have 1 leaf, whatever you want. We're gonna go ahead and make 12, even though I'm gonna ice with you now. We're gonna do 3. We're gonna do 4. I have 1 already done, and then you can do the rest, okay? Otherwise, we'll be here for a very long time. This one's not working very well. How y'all doing? Now, these aren't going to be ready till Thursday. We're not going to be able to use them right away. Let's say we're done with the green. Oh, my fingers hurt. Okay, this is why I use a bullet. You see? My bag is pretty much clean. I have a little bit of frosting still in the bottom, but that'll come out in a minute when I give it a squeeze with the other color. Now we're going to be working on our we're going to make our little holly balls. And for that, we're going to use number 2. Go ahead and make my little bullet. calling you. Sorry, the mailman's calling us. I don't know what happened to my spatula. I already had the red premix. But whenever you're going to make bright colors like red, or let's say you're going to try to make black, or you're trying to make brown, and you want those nice deep colors, you need to do them a day before. So this red was done 2 days before. So let's say I need it for tomorrow. I'd make it today. I'd get it as close as possible to red. You add red, and then you add a little bit of peach to help darken or deepen the color, and then you let it sit 24 hours, and then you're good to go. Did you take the scissors again? And then it's ready to go the next day. It'll be a lot brighter than it was that day you made it. It's always a good idea to try to make your colors a day before. You get better colors that way. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. I'm going to squeeze the green out of this. Okay, all I did was squeeze until I started getting red. When you're making your hollies, you're going to go straight up and down. You put it, you apply pressure until you get the little ball the way you want it. You swirl it and you release. Once you shake it, the tip goes down. Always go straight up and down. Release pressure before you pull it up. You're going to add one berry at a time. That gives it enough time to crust before you come and add the next one. If you add them all at the same time, they're just going to blend together and look like a big old blob. You can add 1 berry, 2 berries. I like adding 3. 3 looks better. Odd numbers look better than even. Shake it a little bit so the tip goes down into itself, folds in into itself. We're gonna let that sit for a little bit. While that's crusting, we're gonna go ahead and start getting our cookie ready. Clean off my scribe. Okay, the reason I asked you guys for a ruler is because we're going to go ahead and we're going to do planks on our cookies. I like mine to be semi-even. So my cookie is 4 inches. I'm going to go ahead and mark it every ½ inch. So I just make a little line with my scribe. ½ inches is too much. So my first one's going to be half, and then I'm going to go an inch from there. Okay. So then I just line up my ruler with the marks that I made, and I go ahead and I score my cookie. Try to get them as even as possible. Okay. Now when you're here, you decide which ones you want to be whole planks and which ones you want to be half planks. If I have short ones like this, I like these to be the whole one. So it'll be whole, and then this one's half. So then we're going to score it. It doesn't have to be right in the middle. You can go higher, you can go lower. I like to kind of offset them. So that if it's whole, half, whole, and then this one would be half. And this one I'd go down a little bit further. Okay, so this is what you end up with. You see that? Okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that to all of our cookies. Don't mind this one. This one's a little ugly. But these are not for sale. These are just for demonstration. So the first one, I go in 1/2 inch, and then from that mark, I go ahead and I go in 1 inch. Same process, we're going to score them in your half planks. So we're going to go in 1/2 inch and then a 1 inch. Okay. Oops. This one I kind of went crooked there. Let me fix it. Why does it keep going? Oh, my cookie is crooked. So this one's a little bit thicker, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave it. Okay, so score it, and then score it. There you go. Okay, so those are ready. Go ahead and pipe the next little holly ball. So now we're going to work on our icing to make our cookies. So we're making 7-second icing. Anyone know what 7-second icing is? No? Okay, 7-second icing is, oh, can you give me another spatula, babe? I use the one for the green. 7-second icing is you mix your icing in here, and then you split it in half, and it has to take 7 seconds for it to close back together. And then that's when it's ready to pipe. So we're going to go ahead and work on that. I'm only going to make a little bit because I already have brown made. So I'm just going to show you what 7-second icing looks like. So this is my brown. We made this one yesterday. Ladies that were here yesterday, I don't know if you can tell, but this color has gotten richer from yesterday. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, I'm going to mix it with my white so I can show you. If you prefer to do the outlining and then do all the outline and then come back and do the filling, I'm going to show you the 2 consistencies that you need, or I'm going to tell you. In order to outline first, you need your royal icing or your frankenfrosting to be the consistency of toothpaste. So if it feels like toothpaste, that's what, this was good for outlining. It's thick. It's supposed to be like toothpaste to outline, and then to fill, to flood your cookies, it's supposed to run off your spatula like honey does. And a steady stream right off of your spatula. Okay, if I was just going to fill to outline, this is what I'd be using. But I don't like to do all that. I don't like to outline and then come back and fill. I want to do it all in one. So I do 7-second icing. I outline and then I fill with the exact same icing right behind. Okay. So this is not 7 seconds. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to add water to it a little bit at a time. It's a good idea to have one of those misters, you know, those sprayers that you find at the dollar section at Walmart or at the dollar store. And you just spritz it and stir and check it, and if not, you spritz it again. It's very easy to add too much water to it. Very, very easy to add too much water. Okay. A little bit of water goes a long way when it comes to your frankenfrosting. Still not there. Split it. And you count to 7. That's how you know if you got 7-second icing. Smooth it out. I split it. You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it's still got a big old gap there, so that means we're not ready. Your brown for these cookies doesn't have to be that dark because we're going to go back and we're going to add another color on top of it, and I'll show you that on Thursday. You could even leave it white if you prefer. Okay, let's try it again. Shake it, get it nice and flat, and then we'll run our spatula through it and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nope. We're We can add a little bit more water. And give it another good stir. Okay, split again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not ready. Count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Barely at 7. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and use this one. Okay. This is what we're using to flood and fill our cookies. Oh, well this one should have crusted already, so we're gonna go ahead and we're going to add our last little bead of holly. Okay, so there's our holly. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna move on. Using my same bag, I'm gonna remove my bullet. Now I'm gonna go ahead, I'm just gonna fill this one in. I'm not gonna make a bullet because this icing is thin. I don't need that much icing. Squeeze out all the red. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and start. When you use a 7-second icing, don't go all the way out to the edge to trace it because it's going to run off. So just you can stay on the inside. Icing. You're gonna touch, squeeze, lift, pull across, touch down, and release. Touch, trace, touch down, and release. You always have to anchor your icing. And then with the scribe, you're just gonna pull it to where you want it. If you didn't get it all the way to the edge, that's fine because that's what your scribe is for. And give it a good shake. Make sure it's even, that you don't have some spots that are lower, higher than others. You want to get a nice uniform cookie. Okay, since I did this one, we're going to skip these and we're going to do the center. We have to let this crust before we can pipe. Otherwise, we'll get a big old blob. Again, squeeze, anchor, lift, bring it down, and touch. Okay? Anchor it, lift it. Do not drag your tip across the cookie. You're going to pick up crumbs. So that's that. I'm just going to go in and fill it in. And then with my scribe, go ahead and scribble it in. Just like scribbling. Don't go in too deep with your scribe because you will scratch the cookie and pick up crumbs. If you don't have enough icing, just bring it down with your scribe. Give it a shake. It helps even whatever has to be evened out. I can still see my score line here, so I'm going to bring some of that icing out. There we go. And here as well. Okay. So that one's done. We're going to skip this and we're going to do this one. Anchor, lift, bring across, and anchor. Okay. Okay, so there's the first one. There's that one. I'll set that one to the side. Anchor it, lift it, continuous pressure all the way across, release, and touch down on your cookie and pull back in so you don't get that long tip. Okay, that one's pretty thin, so there you go. Make sure you tap gently so you can get all the bubbles out, because if you get bubbles, then the icing, later they come up to the surface and they pop and you're left with holes. Touch down, drag across, touch down again. caja de uno, I think. Have I lost anybody, or is everybody still there? Okay. So we have one more cookie to go. Over there behind the thing. Okay, this is the last one, and then I'm going to show you what the finished one. These ones are still crusting. Okay, so this is what I do to give it a little bit more the realistic look. Once it crusts, I go through and I do my nail holes. I just with my scribe, I just poke holes in it. Oh, it's not dry yet. I'm gonna let it crust a little bit more. Okay, and then we'll come back and do that. Touch down, release, bring across, release pressure, and touch down and pull it in. Try my usual one.
It is not, is that it?
Capital?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you get any on the bottom, just clean it off with your scribe. With your scribe straight up and down, you're running around the edge of your cookie, and it picks up whatever icing fell off. Okay. Okay, so just go ahead. Give me a second. I can't see any comments right now. I have to fix my tablet. Give me a second. I'm going to finish prepping this one. Okay, so that one's ready too. Hold on, let me fix this. I lost you. What am I doing? Okay, hold on. Trying to find it. Sorry, I don't know what happened. I got lost, you guys, but I can't see you. Oh, there we are. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, so there's that. Then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna fill the other one in. Okay, now it's crusted, so we're gonna go ahead and make a little hole. On all of them. Probably need to wait until it crusts a little bit more. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to start filling in the planks. But we're only going to fill one side of the plank. We're not going to fill both of them. So we're just going to trace it. Touch it down. And follow the exact same line we had before. Okay, we gotta let that dry. If for some reason you forget and you fill it all in, don't worry about it. As soon as you see that it has crusted, you just take your scribe or your toothpick or whatever you're going to use and you run it through. I'll show you what, it still looks the same. That happened to me yesterday, so I had to, afterwards, run it through with the scribe, make my score line. Oops. You see how this one's kind of deep there? We're just going to add extra icing to get it to the same level as the rest of the cookie. Tap it. Okay. Tap it, get any bubbles out. Okay, this one's already crusted, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make my, no, it's not crusted yet. Okay. Those are that. That's that. I'm gonna show you the finished product. He's almost here. He's on 28. Maybe he can help us with that one. Getting that to cut. Okay. So this is what the cookie looks like after it's dried. You see how I said take your toothpick or your scribe and just go ahead and make the nail holes in it? It gives it a little bit more texture. And on this one, I forgot and I filled it completely because I was busy talking. So once it crusted over, I just went in with my scribe and I scored it. So it's no big deal if you forget. And even on these, if you want, after they're dry, you want to give them a little bit more depth. You just go in with your scribe. You dig it in a little bit, not too much, because if you do it too much, it's going to break. Just so you can make those lines define. But we're going to do all that on Thursday, okay? So this is just what I did because I forgot to plank my cookies. Okay? So remember, 7-second icing if you want to go ahead and outline and fill at the same time. You add water a little bit at a time. You drag your spatula across it and count to 7. If it takes longer than 7, add a little bit more water. A little bit at a time. Okay? If anybody has any questions, let me know. Text me, message me, Facebook me, Instagram me, whatever you want, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. Just make sure you have all of your cookies iced and ready to go on Thursday. Thursday, it'll be the same time, 2 o'clock p.m. Central Time. We're going to go. You should have gotten your stencils by then. If you have not gotten your stencils by Thursday, please let me know, and then I can push the class back till Friday to give you enough time to get your stencils. But all those stencils went out on Monday, so you guys should get them Thursday the latest. Okay? Your holly, leave it on the tray. Let it dry completely. Do not mess with it. Oh, look, I forgot a little holly ball. Let it dry. We'll work with those on Thursday as well. Any questions before I go? No? Alright, guys. I will see y'all Thursday. Everybody should have gotten the recipe already, the video for the Franken frosting. If you have not gotten the video, let me know and I will send it your way. Alright, see you guys Thursday.